Welcome back to Jazzed Fans TV. I'm Paul Sheffield.
Carson Wood.
Back at it again. Week 8?
Week 8.
Week 8. They're flying by. Jazz, 2-1 on the week. Predicted by this guy. Unfortunately, I believed in better, but we did not.
Well, maybe you like this week's projections then.
Fantastic. What do you got? Where do we want to start? Recap of the 3 games. Should we start with Oklahoma City versus the Jazz? Worst loss / game of the year.
Yeah, and it's the worst one since the Mavericks game that we lost by 50 last season. I hated that game so much.
Everything that it chose to be.
Yeah. I think you've been mentioning this, that the guards when they play against us, they've been killing us.
No, 100%. While I was watching the game, I was noticing 2 main takeaways from the game. Number 1, Oklahoma City played 3-point guards for a lot of that game. Mike Conley was out, and I think they were just testing our guard play for most of that game, and the Jazz were not up for that challenge. And the second thing that I just noticed was a lack of confidence. You can talk about the X's and O's, playing on offense, playing on defense, giving effort. It didn't feel like there was confidence on either side of the floor.
Yeah. And I think, I can't remember if I've mentioned it here, but my issue with this last few stretch of games with the Jazz is it kind of seemed like they didn't have identity. And our identity last year was defense. We always would fall back on that. You'd have to put up over 100 points to beat us, and it was really hard to do. Now, I still am a firm believer in this whole team, in every aspect of it, in Quinn Snyder. It's going to be...
You don't want to blow it up yet?
No.
We're not blowing this up?
No.
Trading everybody? Losing our minds?
It's going to take a lot to shake my faith in everybody that's there. There might be a player here or there that will probably get X. I want all of them to be successful. If Exum came around and he has an insane year off the bench, awesome. I'm not going to be upset by it, but I just don't ever see it happening, and I really like Moutier. Anyways, long story short, I believe in our threes. I think they're going to start clicking more and more frequently. I believe in our defense still. We have the 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Conley's been out. Joe's been playing better as a facilitator as well. I still think he can work off the bench. My biggest concern is our bench. And I think that will even come around.
But I think for it to come around, we have to have confidence in the people that are on the floor. And again, kind of going back to what you were saying, it feels like we have to adapt to other teams right now. Like Oklahoma City playing the 3-point guards. We were having to match up with their small ball. They're not worried about matching up to us. They're not worried about, what lineup are the Jazz playing? And that, I think, is where a lot of the problem starts, is people don't have to adapt to us. Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year, back-to-back years. He's getting his stats, he's getting his numbers, but we're not a fast-paced team. We want a half-court offense. We want to set things up. We want to get Rudy down low. We want to make things happen at our pace. And I think a high-paced super transition team isn't catered to Rudy Gobert. So when people complain, Rudy's not doing this or that, and how are we doing this when we have such a great defensive player? It's because we aren't dictating the tempo of the game. And that's a huge problem that I hope that we can address. And confidence is where that's all concerned. They didn't seem like they enjoyed playing together against the Thunder. We were down by 4 or 5 points for most of the game. It was kind of steady like that. But there was no okay, we got this. Let's come around. Let's do this. And I think we've all experienced times of favorite teams, whatever genre of sport you have, where you're just not worried. You know your team's we're down, but we're going to be fine. We have the pieces. We're going to take care of business. I don't have that feeling now. When the Jazz are down, the way they're playing and how everything just seems flat-footed and just depressing, I have zero confidence watching. They're going to be okay. They're going to take care of it. And it wasn't like that at the beginning of the year. And hopefully we can get that confidence back so I can have confidence as well.
Yeah, and I mean, the third quarter was horrendous. That was maybe the worst I've seen them.
So bad.
And I mean, it didn't even feel like the Thunder were playing particularly well. They only got 2 offensive rebounds. Both of them were by Adams. Other than that, they had no offensive rebounds.
No.
They shot under 30% from 3. Their field goal percentage was good. But it didn't feel like they were playing well. But, everybody freaked out after that game. But I thought we would. I said we would go 2-1, and I actually figured we'd lose the Minnesota game. I thought they would want revenge after we beat them away.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
But see, the revenge had equaled out because they won on our home court and we won on theirs. So it wasn't. We were going into that equal. There was no revenge needed. Now we have the upper hand for next week's game.
Are we playing them next week?
No.
We have to.
That was a joke.
Anyways, so it's just one. Again, Schroeder coming off the bench, 27 points. And I know you said he didn't play off the bench minutes. He had like 31, but he had 27. That's the kind of stuff. I just feel like our bench has got a limit. But on to the Timberwolves.
A victory on the road. We did it.
And that's one thing to say, too. I think we've only lost 2 games at home still, right?
3.
3 now?
We've
So
lost 3.
We still have a great home record.
I've had to do interviews for all of them. Just letting you know.
It's true. And he will, because we will keep winning at home. So we're not going to have any more losses at home.
That's a good attitude.
Also, kind of going into the Timberwolves game, and this kind of bleeds over from the Thunder game. Bogey did not have a great week.
No.
And that's kind of where the fan base is at, though, is like a player has like a bad stretch, and all of a sudden it's like, well, now we're affecting him. It's like, stop. Stop, man. Like, shooters have ups and downs. Paul George will have a game where he goes 4 for 18 or something. Like,
yeah,
it's going to happen.
100%.
What I think we needed, and this is where the Timberwolves game and the OKC game is where we really miss Conley, because Conley, he can put up 27. So,
and he is good on defense.
Mm-hmm.
He is someone that they have to account for. I think we're missing Conley more than we want to admit. And the fact that we've won 3 out of the past 4 is a good sign. Let's look for positives here, everyone. Positives. The world's not burning.
Are you worried about him at all?
No.
Not performance-wise with the injury.
Oh, actually, yeah. With that, he should have been back right now. Wasn't it just a hamstring strain labeled?
I thought so, yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
We gotta get him back. I'm ready for Mountain Mike to come back. I need a Mountain Mike massacre. I haven't had one in a minute. But maybe they're just being cautious.
I've heard this percolating up. Is there any chance he gets traded?
Yeah.
Really?
I think there's a chance. I think I've been reading and hearing the same thing as you. I don't think they're going to do it. I don't want them to do it, but yeah, I think there's a chance of it.
Is that the reason he's not back yet?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think that's that. I think they're being cautious. Listen, we're still above 500. We're the 6th seed in the West. The world isn't burning. Everything's going to be fine. But I think they're being cautious with the injury. You see this a lot in sports. If we were losing a lot and there was a real sense of panic and we were losing really important games, maybe they rush him back. That's not happening. We went through the worst of it. At this point, we've got a softer schedule. Let's bring him back slowly. I don't think it's for trade bait.
I agree. Dog's dreaming right now.
Dog's dreaming and just whimpering. It's absolutely adorable. Shut up. Enough. We're doing this.
The Minnesota game was good because we actually had a lot of double-digit contributors on offense. Joe Ingles had probably his best game of the season. He had 23 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, a steal. I was really impressed with him. And then the bench played really well. My only thing is we pulled our foot off the gas in the fourth again. They put up 33 points. And I want us to see. I would prefer the teams that we're playing to hover right around 100, ideally be below 96.
Do you think that taking our foot off the gas has something to do with we're not as deep as we wish we were? Because we bring in replacements and then they catch right up. We don't have a bench that can sustain a lead.
I don't know. I don't know. I thought our bench was one of our strongest attributes compared to other teams when the season started.
Me too.
Again, I can't remember if we talked about it here or on Poor Sport Report, but I was like, oh, we got a better bench. We've got people that have started on other teams. We got Moutier. We got Jeff Green, Jeff Green won a title with LeBron, right, in Cleveland.
I think he did. I think so.
Ed Davis has been he's been around the league a long time. Joe Ingles, we had one of our starters dropping. I was like, this is going to be one of the best benches.
Yeah.
And they've shown moments, like Jeff Green's had 20-plus points twice. Moutier has moments where he looks like what we were missing with Exum. But then other times we'll have 2 points, 4 points, and a max of 5 points. Our Subway sub of the game will shoot 18. We'll shoot 18% and have 5 points and 2 assists.
That's not enough.
No.
George Niang.
What's your thoughts on the bench overall, though? Do you think? Because, like I said, I still believe that it's going to turn around. What are your thoughts?
In my opinion, I think we're putting more strain on the bench because Conley's out and Exum's not performing. I am not a believer in Niang. What?
Playing.
Yeah. 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 I don't think that George Niang should be any part of a championship team as far as their bench is concerned. I just haven't seen what I would like to see from a bench rotation player in playoff scenarios. I just don't see it. For us to be successful, I do think that we have the pieces for enough of a bench. If we have Conley back, and I do like Moutier. I know there's some grumbles from him. I do like Moutier coming off the bench, Royce O'Neal or Joe Ingles, whatever person you want. And then you have Ed Davis and Jeff Green. I think that's your core. And anytime you deviate away from that, we're in trouble. I don't think Bradley is ready yet. I don't think Niang's ready yet. But I do think, in response to your question, we have the bench as long as they stay in their roles. If we lose an injury, I think we've seen that our bench isn't deep enough to sustain significant time out by our starters.
I still maintain they're deep enough. It's going to get worked out.
Yeah.
It's going to get figured out. But let's. It was interesting that you took time to talk crap on Niang.
I'm not talking crap.
During the Timberwolves game when he went 3 for 3, 9 points.
You brought him up for his Subway sub of the game, and that wasn't his game. How dare you?
Was that him?
Yeah.
I honestly didn't even remember.
Yeah, good job. Remember. That's what got it in my mind. You did this.
Now we're going to
Golden State Warriors. You will not beat the Golden State Warriors. We did it again. 3 in a row.
As everyone
barely
has. As everyone has.
We were down. I took a look at the score of that game. We were down 13 points. I did miss this game. Carson was killing it on the interviews. I was doing comedy at Wise Guys, so I was checking my phone feverishly. We're down like 13 points. I was like, oh, great.
We also got booted off the property for the first time. So.
I'm gone and all hell breaks loose. The one game I'm gone, he can't say, yeah, we're supposed to be here. He can't say one sentence.
If I get into it with the security guard.
You don't rent a cop. You got to worry about him. He was walking past you said. He was nonchalant. Like, hey, you're supposed to be here. And you're like, no, we're not. We're caught, everybody.
What I didn't tell you is there were a lot of cops also walking.
Were there?
Yes.
I've seen a lot of cops there, and they've been very nice to me. You got to have this
They didn't say anything, but if he needed to, he could flag a cop down. My goal was the game had literally just ended, and if I needed to set up again, it had to be the right then, or we were going to lose a ton of interviews. If it happens again, me and Paul will be moving 15 feet to the south, just outside.
We will still be there. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, we're still going to be trying to go where we always go, which by Stockton Malone.
We're going to be at the Note for. I think for the next 4 or 5 games, we're just going to be at the Note, programming Note. And maybe do the Christmas tree side. I think we're gonna be away from Stockton Malone for a couple weeks. We're gonna let that guy forget about Scott.
Yeah. Maybe we just call him racist.
That would be great.
Yeah. We're gonna pull that card because we never got harassed.
No.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Anyways,
one thing real quick. Positive note from this week. That was the negative. Positive. We reached 100 subscribers this week. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, that was fun. And it went way quicker than we thought.
I cried.
He teared up. Did you?
Maybe.
Not in front of
Golden State game. Turned it around, brought it in the second half. Made halftime adjustments, which was good.
Burks was on a tear out of nowhere. There 0 points from Willie Cauley-Stein. Looney had 2 points. You look at this game and you're like, yeah, we should have won this game by a significant margin.
Handedly.
Again, the bench was the difference. Their bench put up points. And then also, they didn't even have Pascal. They are losing people per
They're
game.
A cracked shell of themselves.
Yeah, they did have Russell, so I mean, they still got players, but this was the weirdest game. If they would have lost this game, man, I probably would have started.
And they almost did.
Yeah. The second half was bad, but the first
half was good. Or the first half was bad, second half was good.
First half was bad,
yeah.
And then the 37-28 points in the third, and then we stuck to it. Again, though, I think we could have been a lot more. It seemed like in the fourth we stopped. We didn't play as hard a defense as we could have.
Sure.
Whatever. I'm not going to split hairs here. We got to win. Huge game from our closer, Bogdanovich, man.
Bogeyman.
Did you see the step back that he had?
The highlights I did, yeah.
Yeah, it was beautiful. He's just so smooth.
Yeah. Croatian creation. We love it.
You love to see it. And then Mitchell, so we had, I think, a double-double every game from Rudy. Mitchell averaged 28 points. Joe, I think, averaged more assists than anybody in this week than any week. Like, he was really doing well facilitating. So there were bright spots. We're figuring certain things out. But we got to give the award to somebody this week. And who is it?
The one, the only, Spider Mitchell. He's earned it, and he goes on a hard grade for his awards, and he's done it right here. He's in the middle.
There he is.
The guy.
We saw his new shoes. They look like they are partnered with Crayola, I think literally. We are not on board.
I will buy them out of loyalty.
I will find my colorway I like and buy them.
Duty, one. And it will stay in the closet for many reasons. Please make the shoe different if you guys are watching this.
There's time still.
There's still time. It's just a leak. We don't have to make it a real thing. Before we, you brought up a great idea. We're going to start recapping the division, right? Just go over the division. We're in second place, but it's a good idea.
We at least should this week for sure, because I'm really surprised at what's going on, and Paul is too, I think. Mm-hmm. No, not conference, not league. Give me the division, ESPN. I don't care about the rest of it. So
it's just on the homepage of the Jazz.
Well, I wasn't on there, and I was trying to get to it. I was on a league page. So Denver is in fourth place in the conference, first place in the division. We're in sixth. We're a win behind them, but we've got 3 more losses. I think that's going to start evening out as our schedule gets a little bit easier. The big surprise is where we figure the Trailblazers would be knocking the door on, would be at least third place, second place, maybe first place. They're in last. OKC is in third, in the division.
I would not have guessed that. But, I mean, Carmelo Anthony is on the Blazers, so you can't expect too much now.
That's my thing. And people would be saying, oh, they were in last place. You said this. They were in last place before he got there. Nail in the coffin.
He's calling me out. I did say that.
Everybody's talking about how people like the disrespect for Carmelo Anthony. I maintain he's done next to nothing in the league. He had a scoring title here or there. He had a good rookie year.
He made it to the Western Conference Finals once.
Good
job.
He allowed us to win our playoff series versus the Thunder when it was like the 3 versus the 6. Is that right?
That was amazing.
Not impressed.
But and just Utah Jazz fans, for 1 second, for all the negativity that feels like we have surrounding the team, we're still in second place. Imagine coming in with the expectations that Portland had. And just for a minute, think about it for a second. This is a time to be grateful, to reflect. It's not that bad. We're going to be fine. Okay? We're above 500. We're figuring it out. We're still in the playoffs. We're not Portland. We're not reaching out to Carmelo Anthony for answers. So it could be worse.
There's one team ahead of us that you would expect, or that
Denver.
you would not expect to be ahead of us in the whole Western Conference.
Dallas?
Yeah, and they're surprising everybody. So other than that, you wouldn't be surprised that Houston's above us.
Mm-mm.
Ideally, you want us to be ahead of them at the end.
Sure.
You wouldn't be surprised the Nuggets are above us. No. Ideally, we also think we could be above them. And then you get into Clippers and Lakers. And the Mavericks, again, they're kind of playing out of their minds right now.
We haven't even played them yet. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Hopefully we figure it out first.
Yes, let's do that. And let's talk about figuring it out for this week. We got the Magic up first.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. I'm predicting a clean sweep week. This is my 3rd week in the row of doing that, but I'm going to do it. We should win these games.
Wishful Paul.
He's a good man. Orlando, this is our last home game for a while. We got a 3-game road stretch coming up. I think it would be a nice way to start off the week. They're below 500. We should beat them. I don't think they match up well against us at all. I would like to see a nice win. I'd like to see Conley back. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I would like to see a win.
I am also predicting clean sweep.
Clean sweep!
I think our trap game's Atlanta, even though they've only won 5 games. Trae Young, it just feels like a game where he could drop 37 and all of a sudden we're in danger territory. But I still think we get him. I think we beat Orlando at home. We beat Atlanta, and then we should
beat Charlotte. Speaking to what you said, you're absolutely right. Atlanta is a hard game for the Jazz. I think as Jazz fans, we just know at Atlanta is a hard game for us. I don't know what it is. We go to Hotlanta and we forget basketball. So let's not do that this time. I don't know if it was because Millsap was there and we missed him. I don't know what happened. He's gone. Let's move on.
Well, they were the Jazz East at that point when the Brooklyn kind of gave up that moniker, and they also had DeMarre Carroll that played us.
Kyle Korver.
They had Kyle Korver.
Made the Pro Bowl, made the All-Star team.
Yes,
that year. But no, we gotta win these 3 games. These are winnable games. Hey, think about it this way, Jazz fans. We win these 3 games. Suddenly, we've run 6 of 7 games, or 5 of 6 games. Sorry, 5 of 6. We're back on track. Everything's fine. And that, I think, coming around Christmas when the season actually starts, in my opinion, that's a good place to be.
Yeah.
We'd be 18-11. That's not a terrible record.
No. I maintain as long as you're above 500 by the playoff, specifically for us because how hard our schedule always is at the beginning, by the All-Star break, be a little bit above 500, and I think we're all right. We want to be in 3rd place. We want to get home court advantage for a series.
And I'm tired of the 4-5. I don't want anything to do with the 4-5. We get that so often now. Let's improve slightly. 3 seed, I think, is very possible.
Let's get us to the 3 seed. Yeah. Let's get Portland to the 6 and play Carmelo.
You say the sweetest things.
I want it.
That would be amazing.
And then we get Dallas versus the Rockets at the 4-5. Dallas beats them because...
Dude, Dallas, Houston, get your popcorn. I'd watch all that.
And then it would be what? L.A.? How far did the Denver Nuggets fall in this scenario? That to 7th?
Oh, shoot. That's never happening.
The Clippers versus the Nuggets.
Nuggets, and then the Kings or the Suns.
And then the Clippers versus the... Would it be Kings or Suns, you think?
Something like that. I think one of those two is going to make it. I really do. And it could be the Suns.
I don't know. They've cooled quite a bit. And did you see after we on the podcast that we have, I gave Belica an award that we give them, and then they went and lost to
the Kings,
the Knicks.
Oh,
they lost to the Knicks. That's what it was.
That's what
the
happened.
Kings lost to the Knicks.
Oh man!
Not invoking very much confidence. Let me see what I would want on that. Yeah, that's what it would have to be like. Lakers versus the Suns. Yeah. Yes. That's how it is. That's how it's going to end up. We're in the 3 seed. We did it. And then the Nuggets going to, because Jokic has been playing well. Jokic is falling. Heard it here first.
Absolutely.
Anyways, I think that's it. Here's for a clean sweep week and 1 home game. It's going to be kind of a mellow week. Kind of excited for it. Not for necessarily us, but for the Jazz just to kind of get a rhythm and hopefully get Conley back.
Absolutely. Now, for all of you loyal watchers who are still watching this, there's probably 15 of you, and I love you so much. It's Christmas time. We've already done 1 giveaway. Announcement, program alert, we're doing a Christmas giveaway. Next week, we will be announcing, but I will be posting on our social media, Twitter, what we'll be giving away either tomorrow or Tuesday, and also giving you the details of what you can win for Christmas here at Jazzed Fans TV.
Woo woo. What do you have to say about it, Rudy?
He's excited.
Awesome.
But no, we love you guys. We're going to do a Christmas giveaway, and should be a fun week. We're going to do a clean... Everyone's going to be in good spirits getting gifts. But until then, enjoy the games. We will see you Tuesday night at the Note, and hopefully we don't get booted.
We won't.
Have a good week.
Bye.